Welcome to Pocket of Peace Yoga. I'm delighted you've chosen to join me. In this video today, I'll be sharing my top 5 tips for hosting your first yoga retreat. Perhaps you've considered hosting a retreat, but the idea seems a little big and overwhelming. And I'm sure it could be. However, if you can keep it simple, it can happen. My first tip: location. Think about where you want to be and keep it close. Consider within a 2-hour driving range. Maybe a place in the mountains, by a lake, a river, wherever you consider to be beautiful. And then once you find your place, look at Airbnbs and look at several options. And consider guests, the amount of people that you could invite to each one, whether it's 6 or 10. Look at the amenities and consider the cost. Keep 3 or 4 places in mind for future reference. Tip number 2, people. Talk to your friends, your neighbors, your family. Talk to the people in your yoga classes. And just start planting the idea of a yoga retreat and see who would be interested. You're not asking for a hard yes at this point. You're just seeing who would possibly want to come. The next step is food. Think about things that almost everyone likes and that can be made ahead of time. Once you're there, you don't want to be caught up in the details of food. You want to be able to focus on your guests and give them an enjoyable experience. Consider foods that you can make ahead of time. For my first retreat, I made soups and all they needed was to be heated up. I made bread ahead of time, and for breakfast, fruit and muffins are great options. Consider going into town for lunch and wandering around. Next on the list, clear communication. Once all these ideas have been in your head for a while and you've been taking notes and writing things down, now you can ask people if they're interested. But give them all the information that you can. Can say, listen, I'm hosting a retreat. It will be on these days. Check in at this time, departing on this time, and this is what's included. We'll have yoga at these times. This is the food that I'm bringing. Give them a list of all that's included, and then also include the price, and let them consider. And once your guests have said yes, give very clear communication throughout, including the address of the place, and again, food that you'll be bringing, perhaps including recipes so people can consider if they have food allergies, and also remind them of the expense and how you want to be paid. Is there a deposit that needs to be paid ahead of time? And if so, what's the best way to do that? As Brené Brown says, clear is kind. And last tip on the list is to give them a packing list. Let them know what to bring. Include items such as their yoga mat, perhaps a block if they have them, if you want them to bring a notebook, and if there are any local attractions, perhaps consider bringing their swimsuits. And also list on the end, happy anticipation for the joy that they'll be experiencing. Again, clear is kind. These are the steps that I took when I hosted my first retreat, and it was a good time had by all. I wrote about it in a blog post, and I'll include the link of that in the description. I hope that you find these tips helpful, and I would love to hear if you have hosted your own retreat and what you found helpful. Enjoy your day.